everything was going smoothly until I got a biscuit where a biscuit should not be. That's what happens when you don't have the thumb down and you try to lift up a boulder and it rolls out, and now you have a problem. I got a toe strap. We'll see if I can dislodge that. That's enough to piss you off. I got a couple more dents in the snuffleupagus now, right? Oh, so let's see what I do. I got dent there, and I think I bent that plate, right? All because I'm a dumbass. All right, sun's getting close to set here. I gotta dig a little more. But I gotta move and get around this side of the boulder here. Biscuit. Anyway, see you later. All right, top of the morning to you. I'm Dan, and you're watching My Steel Can. So yesterday, you saw that I excavated more of the pit. Had a little boulder issue on the tracks. That was a little frustrating. Took care of that issue, and I dug the rest out, unearthing a spectacular biscuit. Look at the size of that biscuit. Unbelievable. So I got a high spot there that won't break, high spot there that won't break, and I got a high spot there that won't break down. So when I remove all this soil or dirt or rock or debris, I will get in there and try to clean that out and try to face that off nice and smooth. And then we got to work on this side. I got to go the same distance on this side. And I'm having a problem or an issue now with where am I going to put the gravel and the dirt. I've filled the driveway in pretty good. I got maybe two more low spots in the driveway that I'll fill in. That's probably what, 3 to 4 buckets of dirt, if that much. And then I decided, well, I'm gonna have to go out on the road and straighten the road out anyway, because it rained and it made it more bumpy, and I can use that gravel to straighten that out. I don't want to do too much of the road. I'd like to keep it as off-road and authentic like as possible, but I need a place to put the gravel, and that's a place where it'll serve best purpose. Anyways, thanks for tagging along. I got the Predator on the Beast. Got to remember to move my garbage from there, because I don't want to be chasing my garbage around when I rip the bag. And basically, dig a dig. So, thanks for tagging along. We'll see you later. Good morning, and welcome to My Steel Can. I'm Dan, the man with the plan. So, let's recap a little bit of what's going on here. I'm starting to dig a hole. I have this ambition to get the hole done, but the forces of nature have slowed me down. The Beast is starting to run hot, and it overheated a little bit on me. So it needs a complete block and radiator flush. I ordered new thermostats and new gaskets. I was going to run to Boise to the Palace to pick up my flush stuff, but I had to take a detour and head down to my folks' place. They're having some issues with the dishwasher. So the dishwasher, I don't know why it has to be so sophisticated. Spoke to my brother a couple weeks ago, and he said that they thought that maybe one of my cousins, when they were visiting, locked the dishwasher accidentally. I don't understand why you have a lock system on a dishwasher. What's somebody going to sneak in and do your dishes? that's baffling. But everything has to have a computer in it nowadays, and it's just a headache. Anyway, so I did the computer code test on it, and code 44 popped up, which says that that's the circulation pump. So I pulled the dishwasher out, and sure enough, the circulation pump was just all rusty and dripping water, and the mold underneath the dishwasher was pervasive, so much that the sound deadening insulation around the bottom of the dishwasher was just covered and soaking wet. Needless to say, that went into the garbage. So I went to the online store to pick up a new pump, and one place had it for, I think it was $150 delivered, and then the Amazon said that they would deliver it next day for $180. So I'm like, well, the next day, or I have to wait a week, or I have to come back next week and fix the problem. I got things to do. Let me spring for the extra cash, and I'll get it next day. Well, they delivered it next day. I opened up the box, and the impeller is full of hair. It's a used pump. Now I was gonna say, well, all right, I'll deal with that. Not a big deal, right? I'll get it in, I'll get it done. But somebody put a pair of channel locks on the seal surface on the top of the pump that slides into the grommet, and it's all gouged up. So you know that's gonna leak, right? And I'll never hear the end of that if I change that from my mother, right? That the wash machine's leaking and everything. Okay, no problem. So I had the dishwasher out. I had the hot water fitting shut off, and I left the dishwasher laying on its side with the pump out, waiting for the pump to show up. Well, unbeknownst to me, that when you turn the cold water on the faucet, it backfeeds through the nozzle down to the hot water valve and sprays out underneath the sink. Needless to say, my mother didn't appreciate that, and everything got flooded. So I found a cap in the scrounge. I put a cap on the hot water thing, and then, okay, you were able to use the cold water on the sink. That problem solved. Then I noticed that the reverse osmosis filters were 2 years old. I ordered reverse osmosis filters. Then I noticed when I was doing my laundry that the dryer is not spinning and the belt is squealing for a few minutes before it catches. I just rebuilt that dryer maybe 6 months ago, put a new belt in it. I was going to take it off and put the old belt back on, but I noticed that the old belt is cracked, and it's like, okay, so I ordered a new belt. I don't understand the U.S. Post Office system. So the tracking says it went from Idaho, Kellogg, Idaho, to Spokane, to Los Angeles, to Arizona. But it changed hands in like 3 different post offices in Arizona. And it's like MIA. Oh well, hopefully they'll show up before I have to go back to the plantation next week. So in the meantime, I need to change the injection pump on the bed no breakfast. I really don't know what the history is of that pump. That pump could be original, and it could have 283,000 miles on it now. And so basically, I'm just changing out the pump. So I'm here at my folks' place. Hopefully that'll go smoothly. I don't have a torque wrench, but I think I can get away with not using a torque wrench. So here's the mission on the bed dough breakfast and how we're going to do it, or how I'm going to do it. So the doghouse has to come off. It has a clamp here and a bolt down there, one on either side. Passenger seat has to come out. So I can take that out. Usually what I do is I just take the passenger seat and I take it out, but I just put it in the back passenger seat. But because I got the G8000 in the back and no back seat, I can't do that. So seats got to come out, doghouse has got to come out, and then the air cleaner. The air cleaner's got to come out, right? Inspection plate has got to come out. These wires, this return line, throttle position sensor, or FIPL switch they call it, right? Or FIP switch, and then the throttle cable's got to come off. And then there's 3 bolts down in there that I'm seeing online. Everybody says you got to grind down your wrench to get in there to fit. I'm hoping I don't do that. I hope I have a thin wrench. And then the injection lines have to come off. Can't see them until I get the doghouse off, but seems pretty simple. Inside of here are what's supposed to be 5/16 12 points that are torqued to, I believe, 26 inch-pounds. Well, no, not 26 foot-pounds. Like I said, I don't have a torque wrench, so I'll just have to tighten them up. Hopefully that'll be easily done. And put it back in. I did have to purchase a new timing light, one that has an RPM gauge on it, because there's no RPM pickup on that truck, or no tachometer on that truck for me to figure out what the RPM is when I adjust the timing. And then I had to go and buy a diesel injector pulse pickup tool, and heck, I had to buy that from England. I couldn't find one at a reasonable price, so I purchased that from England. Hopefully it'll work correctly. In the meantime, while I was at Harbor Freight, I picked up a transfer pump. I got another filter, and I ordered 1 micron and 5 micron filters for the flush on the Beast, and hopefully that'll solve the overheating problem. I believe that when I just flushed the radiator out the first time I had the problem when I bought it. That cleared out what was in the radiator, but now that I've run it and bounced it around and whatnot, I'm sure whatever was in the block is now filtered in and plugged the radiator. So it is what it is. Just nothing but maintenance and hold-ups. I did go down to this repurposing place in Arizona and pick up some grading. And of course, they sneaky peated one of the gratings in the middle of the bunch when they laid it on the forklift and put it on the trailer, and one was bent. I called the guy, and the guy said, "Well, we're a repurposed place, blah, blah, blah." I'm like, "Look, I didn't get a chance to look at it. You stacked it up and laid it on the trailer, right?" So he's like, "All right, yeah, you can bring it back and get another one." So I got to set that up and bring that back, and then I gotta get my income taxes done, and we're getting close here. So it's just gonna be more setbacks and in time, and I'm not gonna get what I want accomplished before the weather turns and gets brutally hot. I think today down here it's gonna be in the high 80s. So no spring weather. It's just gonna be like boom, winter, summer, and sweat it out, right? All right, it's enough chatting. Let me get to turning some wrenches here and see if I can get this accomplished before the sun sets. Thanks for tagging along. Later. Alright, so I'm 20 minutes into the job. Got the seat out, right? 4 nuts, right? 1 bolt for the doghouse on this side, 1 on that side, the 2 clips, bing, and they're off. Air cleaner, 1 bolt down the center, and then this hose clips into the front of the air cleaner. Just lift that up over the clip and you're good. So now I have the injection lines that got to come off. I believe they're 11/16 nuts, and those are torqued to 22 foot-pounds. So here is the throttle lines. They got to come off. I believe there's 2 bolts here in the front that come out, and then they just pop off the ball joint. So they say to take the pump and the lines out all together. I don't think I can do that because of the filter. I can't pull it forward. That means I have to pull it aft. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the clamps off the lines, and I'm going to take them off individually. It might take a little more time, but that's what I'm comfortable with doing. So that's where I'm at. I don't have the screen on there, and so I'm gonna tape it up this way. Nothing can fall in there. Okay, so at 1 hour and 16 minutes, I got the injection lines off. All with just a 5/8 open end. It was a little frustrating, the 2 on the bottom. I could have used probably a short offset, but I'm working with limited tools here at my parents' house. So they're out. I numbered them. Let's say, so I numbered them: top right, top left, second right, second left, third right, third left, right bottom, and then I put them to the injectors that they went to. I laid them out here on the ground in the order that I took them out. So this would be top left side of the injector pump to injector number 6, left bottom to injector number 2, right? Second right to number 4. Got it? Easy peasy. Now take the cover off, disconnect the throttle position sensor, take the 3 bolts off, take the 3 mount bolts on the front, and it should easy peasy pop forward. See you in a few. Okay, so we're at 4.5 hours, and it's out. So I didn't have a 5/16 12 point in my toolboxes. My dad didn't have a 5/16 12 point in his set of tools, so I had to stop the job and drive over to the Harbor Freight. I picked up a set of 12-point sockets, and I bought a torque wrench. I bought a 5 to 80 foot-pound torque wrench. I don't think I have a 5 to 80. I think I got a 20 to 100 or 50 to 200, one of the two, either way, whatever. So I got a torque wrench. Anyway, I got to get the job done, right? So I did that. So in order to get that bolt off the right side of the pump, the mount bolt. I had to take the solenoid bracket off first in order to gain access. And it's right here next to the hose outlet. And so I couldn't get on it with my Craftsman or the other one. My dad had an old no brand, what's that, Jadori. Anyway, I was able to get in on it with that. It would have been nice if I just had a short 1/2 inch. Then it would have been easier. But I got it out. Of course, I dropped the nut. Fortunately, I got a magnet, and I was able to retrieve them. I did use the magnets to pull the washers off the studs, because there are 2 washers there. There's no way you can get your fingers in there, right? So here's the outlet for the radiator, right? And there's where that is. So I had to take the bracket off. These are the bracket bolts in order to get in there. All right. So here's something that was unexpected. Underneath the bracket for the fipple, there's this piece. There's 2 Allen keys, 1, 2, and there's a hole through the shaft. Now, there's no pin in that hole, but this Allen key lines up with that hole, and this lines up with that hole. So I'm assuming that's supposed to be like a rig hole or a rig pin, and I hope I got it lined up right. I don't know. We'll find out, I guess. All right, here's something else that I noticed. This shaft, right, rides on there. Look at the gap right between that roller and this here. Now look at the gap between that roller and that there. That's a lot bigger. I don't know, right? I don't know now. Hopefully everything will go all right. Injection pump drama. Calamity. So I put the new pump in, fired it up, timed it, got into a little bit of a scrap with the neighbor because the wind happened to be blowing the right way. She had her front door open and it blew the diesel fumes into her house. I immediately shut the truck down. I apologized. It's not my intent to cause anybody any aggravation for my problems. So it was 11 o'clock when I finished. I closed everything up, told Pop, I said, hey Pop, let's go to the trap range, shoot a little trap, come back. So we went down there, we shot some trap, had a good time, come back, and now I'm like, okay, I gotta go to Walmart and get some oil because I'm gonna drop the oil and change the filter. I'm only 1,500 miles away. Let me get it done, and then I don't have to do it later. So, stop at the gas station, park the truck, walk across to the post office, throw my mail in the post office, go into the gas station, check my lottery tickets. Of course, I didn't win. Jump back in the truck, fire it up, drive over to Walmart. Get to Walmart, call my buddy in Idaho. I say, I think I'll be up there Friday. You gonna be around? Yeah. I'll see you when you get here. Okay, fine. Going to Walmart, get my oil, pick up some brake cleaner, starter fluid, Marvel Mystery Oil, injector cleaner, right? Radiator flush cleaner, because I'm gonna need quite a bit for the beast. And maybe about 40 minutes, 45 minutes. Come out, put everything in the bed, no breakfast, turn the key, cranks, no start. Uh-oh. Right? So I give it a little ether, no start. No start with ether. For diesel, that's an issue. Anyways, call my father. Hey, do me a favor, bring the bore scope so I can see the timing marks on the pump. Maybe I need to adjust the timing. I don't think so, but so I tell him the case is on the floor right there. Well, I didn't tell him to open up the case and look inside, right? So he comes over with the fluke meter so I can check the throttle position sensor, voltages, and the case. I open the case. Guess what? Yeah, it's not in there. Now what? Right? So I let him crank it. I give a little ether. Still no start. Okay, let's drive back to the house, get the bore scope. Come back to the house, get the bore scope. We go back and check the timing mark. It looks good. So I loosened it up and I turned it a little bit more to the before top dead center. Maybe eighth, not an eighth, that's too much. Maybe a 1/16 of an inch, if that much, right? Anyways, I crank it. It sputters, right? So I hit it with a little ether. It fired right up. Okay, let's get home. I get home. It's running a little rough at higher IPM, but I'm thinking that's because I jacked up the timing. I get home. I'm like, all right, shut it down. Shut it down. Turn the key, and it fired back up. Okay, let me do the oil. I drop the oil, change the filter, fill it up, turn the key, no start. It's hot, heat soaked, hot soaked, jacked up. So I go on the diesel forums, and sure enough, oh yeah, pump's no good. Brand new pump, rebuilt from the factory. I call their tech line. Where is it, tech line? They got comes with a piece of paper here. All right. Call a tech line. GB Remanufacturing. I call the tech line. Oh yeah, sorry, we got banker's hours, 9 to 5. So now I'm dead. I leave a message. Come out this morning, 66 degrees. I turn the key, fires right up. Hence the heat soak. I call the local diesel injection rebuilder, ask him what it would take to rebuild mine. I mean, mine's working. I'm just getting terrible gas mileage. He says, oh, what's wrong with that rebuild pump is the head and rotor is shot. He says, yeah, they don't rebuild them the way they're supposed to. Yeah, of course, right? So 10 days out to rebuild mine. I don't have 10 days. I'm supposed to be at the plantation tomorrow, right? I already called in, took a vacation day. I'm not going to make it. So I look around. Nobody has a pump in the Phoenix area. So basically, I'm going to clean this up and put it back in. I got no choice at the moment. And then I got to find a core that I could bring to the diesel rebuilder and have them rebuild it. Right? So here goes the drama. Thanks for tagging along. We'll see you later.